welcome to Globalization and Culture. Globalization is the most commonly used word in the 21st century, and we all live in an increasingly globalized world. Even so, very few people know exactly what it means to be in a globalized world, to live in a globalized world. This course is for anyone who lives in the global village and is interested in knowing how globalization impacts our lives, irrespective of whether you are a scientist, engineer, lawyer, doctor, or a cultural studies scholar. If you are interested in knowing what globalization is, this course is for you. The objectives of this course are to understand what we mean by globalization, not only in its communicational aspects, but also in its political, economic, and cultural aspects. It also inquires if there is a culture of globalization in the present era, and what are the features of this culture of globalization. And finally, it tries to explore the relationship between the local and the global, between the cultures of the global north and the cultures of the global south, and tries to answer the question if the so-called global monoculture produced by the homogenizing wave of globalization has led to the erosion of local cultures and identities, taking India and the cultures of India as a case study. The course will begin with a conceptual module in which we would together deconstruct the meaning of globalization, both as a communicational aspect, as a political aspect, as an economic aspect, as well as a cultural aspect, before moving on to the various cultures of India that have become globalized. We would look at fiction, film, dance, music, food, sports, fashion, and conclude by inquiring if these cultures have been able to resist the homogenizing wave of globalization and create a space of the local within the global. The methodology would largely consist of lectures, but the lectures would be amply illustrated and corroborated with case studies. For example, when we look at the globalization of fiction, we would be looking at fiction of some of the writers such as Salman Rushdie, Arundhati Roy, Vikram Seth, Arvind Adhika, and so on. Similarly, when we are looking at the flows of cinema, we would consider the flows of Bollywood cinema in an increasingly interconnected world. We would also try to understand how these cultures are produced, how they are distributed, how they are consumed, and what meanings these cultures have for the people who converge on producing, consuming, or distributing them. If you are interested in understanding globalization and understanding what it means to live in an increasing globalized world and how it impacts cultures, what are the cultures of globalization, this course is for you. Welcome to the course.